What's up, A to Z Sports Live on a Tuesday. Glad to have everybody along talking more Titans rookies. Monday was spent all about Will Levis, and today on the Tuesday, it's going to be all about Will Levis and why he's no longer the most polarizing rookie draft pick from the Titans this past month. And so we'll talk more about the Titans rookies and get into Tajae Spears and what he had to say about his situation at rookie minicamp over the weekend, about his health, his knee, and the situation and how he will be able to go out there and have an impact on the Titans with reportedly no ACL. Now, Tajae Spears was asked, do you have an ACL? And his answer was definitely interesting. And so I think the heat is now off of Will Levis. We'll talk about that some. And now we'll see what the third round pick can do for the Titans in this offense this upcoming season. So Sam, then we're going to play a little game on number fits, which Titans rookie has a jersey number that fits them the best, which I think should be fun. And then we'll play another game called Tuesday Sports Trivia. Last week, I will be honest, I kind of slacked a little bit as question master and trivia master. I have not done that this week. So I'm more prepared this week than I was last week. And so we will have our Tuesday sports trivia to wrap up the show. We went 5-0 last week. See if we can go 4-1 or 5-0 again this week. But Sam, welcome in. Let's have another great show.
Hey, let's do it on a Tuesday. Before we get going this morning, make sure you share the show if you're joining us. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the share button in the bottom right corner. If you're watching on YouTube, take that link, send it to a friend, send it into your group chat. Find a Titans fan or a football fan in your life and introduce them to the A to Z Sports family. That's the best way to continue expanding this family and to continue growing the conversation here at A to Z Sports every morning. So make sure you help us out, share the show. That's the best way to support us. Sharing is caring on a Tuesday before we kick things off.
Yep, let's get it going officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports, powered by the BetMGM app. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Sam Phelan, our A to Z Sports.com Titans reporter. Make sure you're following us all over social media, because we are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter timeline, and you want to make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok for more Titans coverage. We got to thank our sponsors, because they truly make it happen for us, and they help out all of you, like Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process by seeing them in Lebanon or at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Farm Bureau Health Plans. Get better with Farm Bureau Health Plans, better coverage rates and service. Learn more about a health plan for you, fbhp.com/ATOZ. The Aura app, keeping you safe online. If you want a 2-week free trial to get data brokers and telemarketers and robocallers out of your life, go to Aura. That's aura.com/ATOZ, and you get a 2-week free trial. That's aura.com/ATOZ. And Krebs Kubota, an elite Kubota dealer with locations across the mid-state in Columbia, Franklin, and in Murfreesboro. Check them out for all your equipment needs at KrebsKubota.com. Sam, me, you, and Jack Gentry, the Tied Up Podcast, had a lot of live show reaction during the NFL draft weekend, and it felt like Will Levis was by far the most polarizing draft pick the Titans made, because of the position, where they took him, where they didn't take him, in my case, and taking him in the second round, trading up for him in the second round, and then the entire situation around the quarterback position and Ryan Tannehill's situation as well. And now, after rookie minicamp, I think there's a portion of Will Levis haters, Will Levis, anti-Will Levis people that have now flipped, or at least have come closer to the, okay, let's just see how this goes, right? And I think you agree with that statement overall too.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Will Levis was the most polarizing draft pick the Titans made at the time, because he was probably the most polarizing prospect in the draft. Just, up and down when you looked at what the experts were saying about him and what fans were thinking about him coming out of Kentucky prior to the draft process. You've got people saying he's the QB2. He deserves to go at the very top of the first round. And then you've got the extreme reaction of like, oh yeah, he shouldn't go in the first round. He shouldn't go in the first couple rounds. This guy's really bad. So he was a polarizing prospect from the jump. And I've been higher on him than most, as we talked about yesterday a little bit. But one of my main stances is that Will Levis deserves the benefit of the doubt and a clean slate with the Titans, regardless of what you think you know about him from his Kentucky days, or what you how you feel about him from his Kentucky days and his games played in the SEC. This is a completely different beast that he's taking on in the National Football League, and some of these skills may transfer, some of them may not, but I believe he deserves a clean slate, and probably other prospects starting to take a little bit more of the heat, as Will Levis has alleviated a lot of that concern through good showings in practices and mini camps. And you start to get a picture of why the Titans liked him and why they did what they did to go get him.
Yeah, and I'm somebody who, as I said yesterday, I was out on the pick, and as Terrence says, most of those Titans fans were also Vol fans. That was not where I was at. It had nothing to do with the University of Kentucky. It had nothing to do whatsoever with the Titans taking Will Levis instead of Hendon Hooker. Again, nothing, right? But I did think that the decision making and inaccuracies of times and big moments not coming through for Kentucky over the last couple of years was really why I was more out on Will Levis. He looks the part, right? And we talked about that a lot yesterday in our Titans rookie minicamp reaction show. But now it seems like that as Will Levis passed the initial first test of the media watching him, giving videos to the fans and me that I was not there and I was able to watch Will Levis, I have kind of like, okay, he does have a clean slate, right? And now let's see how this goes. And for Jared says that we know you hate Kentucky. Yeah, I don't like Kentucky, but it doesn't have anything to do with, when a player leaves the college, then I don't care where they went to college. The same can be said for former Titans greats, Javon Kearse from Florida, Derrick Henry from Alabama. There's a lot of other players you can mention that came out of, I think Monty Rice has a good possibility to be a nice player out of the University of Georgia as an inside linebacker. So nothing to do with colleges. But anyway, now the attention has turned to Tajae Spears. And I think it's because of what Will Levis showed. I think it's also the confidence that Peter Skoronski seems to have from the media and the fan base of being a day one solid starter somewhere on the offensive line, whether it's guard or tackle, and that's another show. But I also feel like people feel confident that he's going to come in and play. Now it's Tajae Spears, who was the 3rd round pick. That was where the receiver should have been drafted. Oh, he doesn't have an ACL? All these things about Tajae Spears being a backup to Derrick Henry too, that makes you curious about why is Tajae Spears the 3rd round pick and everything else that goes in around him, that now I believe he is becoming the most polarizing draft pick that Rand Carthon made at the end of April.
Yeah, I totally agree that Spears is now the polarizing pick. And it was my least favorite pick at the time. It was the pick that didn't really make sense to me, that I did have to scratch my head and say, now, I don't get why they're doing that, regardless of the player, because, I think a lot of Titans fans, even if you don't really know much about Tajae Spears' game or collegiate career, when you look at the numbers and you watch the tape from his performance against USC, you say, okay, I see, what an awesome player this could be. But the need at wide receiver was obvious to everybody. Not addressing that in the 3rd round was concerning. You add in the injury concern and the knee questions, and it just becomes potentially the most polarizing pick, potentially a guy who does take over for Derrick Henry in the future and can prove to be one of the better backs in the NFL, if he really hits his potential and gets into this thing in stride. But there are a lot of drawbacks and concerns for Tajae Spears for me, and I think a lot of Titans fans out there. And as we've seen him in person and talked to him in interviews and talked to the Titans about him in interviews, I don't think we've gotten the sufficient answers that we've been looking for the questions we have about Tajae's future. And until those questions get answered firmly, or we have some sort of idea of what he looks like on the field, the conversation is going to continue moving in that direction regarding the third round pick.
Yeah, so let's play this from Tajae Spears, who went to the podium for the first time wearing Tennessee Titans Love You Blue, and was asked several times about his knee, his ACL, and his overall health. Here is the Titans rookie running back.
Tajae, can you maybe clear up? I know we probably asked you about the knee before, but that unusual report that said you actually maybe didn't have an ACL in one knee, is that actually true? And how do you deal with that, I guess?
I was out there, I did everything, so I feel perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with me. I'm healthy.
Is it a situation where you just compensate with the strength of everything else around the knee?
Nah, I'm healthy.
You're healthy, but do you have an ACL in that knee?
I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I think that third one, I am healthy, right? Like I period am period healthy period, right? So Tajae Spears answering 3 back-to-back questions about his ACL. And so Sam, let's react to that conversation, that clip that we just heard from Tajae Spears. And I want to say this before we react to it too. I think Tajae Spears is in a really tough spot because of the reports about his health and also going up there as a third round pick rookie running back in the same building that Derrick Henry, goes to work at. It is a tough spot for a guy out of a smaller school like Tulane to be in this situation. So I do want to say that, but
you
Sam,
don't choose where or when you get drafted.
Sure, I'm just saying.
Entering that scenario as the guy that is there instead of the wide receiver or the backup to Derrick Henry, and for a franchise that has used the third round pick on a running back that they thought could be a third down running back before and watched it flop. Like those are things that are out of his control that probably do feed into the situation a little bit more and make it a harder position for Tajae to be in.
All right, so let's react to that. I am healthy real quick. Let me tell you guys about Krebs Kubota. I told you I went out there to see him in Murfreesboro last week. Talked to our guy Matt and Jamie for over an hour, and these guys are really serious about customer service, because when you're looking for equipment and you need an equipment dealer and you need equipment for your property, whatever application you have going around on your home, your small farm, just whatever you've got going around the backyard, the front yard, you need to know how to make sure that a project is done the right way, efficiently, and cost effectively. And having a relationship with your equipment dealer is essential. It's crucial. It's everything, because things happen when you're putting power units and a lot of force into the ground and into the earth, and things break, and you have to have that relationship and customer service satisfaction. And Krebs Kubota, they absolutely do that. They are an elite Kubota dealer with 3 locations convenient for you in Columbia, Franklin, and in Murfreesboro. Their website is KrebsKubota.com, and they've got all of this in stock. I went to Murfreesboro, just in stock for as far as the eye can see of all of this beautiful orange Krebs Kubota equipment right there. So check them out in any of those locations. They've been serving Middle Tennessee for now 18 years. Again, Columbia, Franklin, and in Murfreesboro, or visit them online at KrebsKubota.com.
Today's show is powered by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Use the bonus code ATOZ Sports when you sign up and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If your first bet doesn't win, find that first pick, punch it into BetMGM with the bonus code ATOZ Sports. And if your bet doesn't win, no worries. It's your money back in bonus bets up to $1,000. That's the best way to do sports gambling, because you can make every play and every game mean that much more with the king of sportsbooks on BetMGM.com and the BetMGM app. Austin, one more time. This is Tajae Spears, asked by Titans Media. What's going on with the knee? Do you have an ACL in your knee?
Tajae, can you maybe clear up? I know we probably asked you about the knee before, but that unusual report that said you actually maybe didn't have an ACL in one knee, is that actually true? And how do you deal with that, I guess?
I was out there, I did everything, so I feel perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with me. I'm healthy.
Is it a situation where you just compensate with the strength of everything else around the knee?
Nah, I'm healthy.
You're healthy, but do you have an ACL in that knee?
I am healthy.
So I want to know your reaction to this, seeing it, because I think there's two sides of this story and two opinion. So I'm going to let you kind of go with your initial thoughts and I'll give you mine. But a very, very interesting interaction here between Tajae Spears
Yeah.
and his first time at the podium in front of Titans media.
Yeah, I think I think Mike Vrabel sounds like, and look, everybody in the Titans media relations department, including the head coach and maybe even Rain Carthon, I don't know, did a good job of telling Tajae Spears what not to say. And that is, don't answer the question directly, because there is nothing good that's going to come out of Tajae Spears answering a question. Yeah, I don't have an ACL in my right knee or left knee. Whatever. I think it's his right knee. There's nothing good that comes from
Really?
that. I don't think so.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, so I get it from Tajae's perspective because let's be honest, he is healthy. He feels healthy. He runs healthy. He's been healthy for quite some time. This is not a revelation to think that he is not currently injured and currently having knee problems. We know that he feels okay, and he just had that monster season at Tulane in the current state that he's in right now. The questions about his knee are not, Tajae, how are you feeling? Are you injured at all? It is about the future of his NFL career and wanting some answers on a report that is unconfirmed by anybody other than Ian Rappaport about, what Tajae's medical situation with the knee is like and what his future potentially looks like with the team. And I think it would do Tajae a lot of good if he came and said, no, I don't have an ACL. That's not a secret, but it hasn't been something that's hindered me in the past. I know how to work around it and supplement and support it by building up other muscles. And as you saw in college, I can have a ton of success and be a really good player in the current state that I'm in. So it's a little adversity that I've had to overcome, but it's not something that, I haven't gotten used to. And I have full confidence in my ability to overcome it. And the Titans have a lot of faith in me to overcome it because they wouldn't have drafted me where they did if they believed that this was going to be an issue in the short term or long term.
Yeah.
I think that is the response that I think would make me feel confident, make Titans fans feel confident. But when you're asked point blank, Tajae, you're healthy, but do you have an ACL? Basically just saying, can you confirm this for us? And you look him in the eyes and dodge the question by saying, I am healthy. I don't think it does anything to help your narrative. This is not going to go away. And we saw this with Treylon Burks. If you don't answer the question and tell us exactly what it is going on and how you're working through it, you're not going to nip the narrative in the butt and get rid of it. You're just going to continue to prolong this overarching question that kind of is a blanket on your career right now.
I think, and Deborah says it's none of your business. Well, it kind of is because we cover the team. Sam is our Titans reporter for A to Z Sports. It is. A
player's
Sam's
health is the business. I mean, that's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't like a typical HIPAA situation, right? We're not, NFL players and professional athletes, their medical situations are now part of a lot of money. There is big business, there is big money at stake here, and taking a running back who potentially doesn't have an ACL with 81 overall is a legitimate deal. And so, look, I was going to bring up the Treylon Burks asthma thing from a year ago. I think the Titans mishandled that. I think it was
easy.
But again, I think it's asthma and ACL not being there is completely different. I think with asthma, it's something, oh yeah, you have asthma. Okay. What do? I use an inhaler. It really only affects me in the months of April, May, and June because I'm allergic to grass and tree pollen that blooms there. I'm fine the football season. Okay, cool. That's how the Titans should have handled the Treylon Burks asthma thing last summer. But the ACL thing is not the same apples to apples than that.
Chris says Burks mishandled it. I think the Titans were in his ear. I think they tell these rookies, they go through media training, they talk to them about, hey, you're probably going to get asked about this. You look in the camera, you say this, this, and that. And I think that's what they did with Treylon Burks last year. And even the coaches not telling media what was kind of going on or what they were working through with him, I think really put Treylon in a bad spot. I don't feel like they did him any favors with how they handled it. So I don't think it was a Treylon Burks thing. I think it was a Titans PR error / coaching error to have him in that spot. But yeah, again, I saw another comment that says, he's healthy and he will play. I don't have any doubts about that, but Tajae Spears could have an entire season of productive football this year, and you're still going to be waiting on the ticking time bomb that is perceived to be his knee at the moment.
Yes. So let's do this because, Sam, we had a conversation last week with the Bone and Joint Institute's our Doc Talk segment. This was with Dr. Colin Looney, who is a knee orthopedic surgeon, and we asked him about, the situation with Tajae Spears, and it was a really interesting situation. But I thought this particular answer over that 19 minutes of conversation about Tajae Spears, this was the most interesting thing that came out of it to me.
The problem with an ACL, guys, is an ACL creates a very unstable knee. The knees, it's hard to play on because the knee is actually unstable. It's loose, right? And that allows for injury to the cartilage. It allows injury for the meniscus. And there's always a way to compensate and make up for things. And arthritis actually makes the knee stiffer, right? So arthritis it has that sort of secondary downstream effect of the knee gets stiffer, you lose motion, and actually you can examine a guy who's 20 years out, who played football and didn't have his ACL fixed. His knee's pretty stiff, right? And he's got significant arthritis on his X-ray. It's because of that phenomenon. So as arthritis ensues, the stiffness actually it makes the knee a little bit more stable, but it comes at a huge price, right? What's the huge price of arthritis? Well, it's stiffness, it's loss of motion, it's swelling, it's inflammation, it's pain, knee arthritis is a big problem, and it's a bigger problem than just not having an ACL.
So that from Dr. Looney, the arthritis is a bigger problem than not having an ACL is fascinating because earlier in the conversation, you go back and watch the full Doc Talk if you want to learn more about it. It's really good. It's 19 minutes. And Dr. Looney was fantastic talking about how athletes can overcome and cope with not having an ACL and how it is rare. And Tajae Spears seems to be in that category of rare athlete who can pull it off, but the arthritis being the bigger issue. And Sam, you just said a couple minutes ago, the ticking time bomb of Tajae Spears' knee is going to be, the storyline for the Titans rookie running back moving forward.
Yeah, so like the arthritis is a kind of a different deal. Like I would understand it almost if Tajae was asked about arthritis and, he felt like, look, I am confident and the Titans are confident in my medicals and what I can have as a future. And I'm working with people like Frank Gore to work on, overcoming these knee issues. But do you have an ACL is a pretty black and white question. Like it's a pretty easy question to handle. So that's kind of why I wasn't a fan of the answer. Like arthritis might be the bigger issue. And I think it does a good job of showing why no ACL can be a long-term problem for Tajae. And so while we have no questions about whether or not he's healthy and feels healthy right now, as we start to understand what it is that is going on with him medically, these questions are going to continue to be asked. And continue to be asked. And as he gets into his NFL career, if he has an injury of any kind to the lower body, this is another conversation that's going to resurface. So I wasn't a huge fan of the way that this was handled by Titans PR, but I do also understand, as we mentioned at the top, this is not an easy position to be in for Tajae Spears. He didn't choose to have his ACL injuries. He didn't choose to be drafted in the 3rd round or to the Titans or replace Derrick Henry or any of this stuff. He's not the person that chose not to draft a wide receiver in the first couple rounds. So like these things are out of his control. And those are also important to keep in mind as you try and give him as objective of like having as much of an objective view on his career as you can. But this circles back to our point that with this beginning to build, I don't think there's any question that Tajae Spears is now the most polarizing draft pick the Titans made and will continue to be the one that I think a lot of people will raise their eyebrows at until proven otherwise.
Yeah, and Kane, real quick before we get to our main question here for the audience, Kane throws in his super chat lunch money. Says, "Hated the second and third round pick. Both were wasted, and if they don't hit, the backlash will be legendary, especially since better players were still available." So, Sam, that's the case.
It's interesting because I think I like the emphasis he put on this. With they're both wasted if they don't hit in all caps, and honestly, that is what you're looking at. Like you're not taking a fine third down running back complimentary piece in the third round. You're taking a running back in the third round because you believe they can be your future starter and excel in the NFL. You're not taking a backup quarterback or a 1 or 2 year starter in the second round of the draft. You're taking somebody who you expect to be a franchise QB for you moving forward. So with Will Levis and Tajae Spears, the criticism that surrounds those picks is going to do they hit? Do they crush? Because if they don't excel and if they don't have starting impactful roles, it's probably not worth the squeeze that it took to draft them in the second or third round.
All right, Sam, the question we're going to get to everybody else. A lot of good comments coming in already so far, but what's your confidence level in Tajae Spears having an impact on this Titans offense in his rookie season? What is your confidence level in Tajae Spears having an impact on this Titans offense as a rookie? But Sam, go ahead and tell us all about Aura, who's helping the two of us stay safe online.
Well, the Aura app does everything to help you stay safe online. They're doing it for us. They can do it for you too, because anyone can find anything on the internet, including your full name, personal email, your home address, your phone number, names of your loved ones, as scary as that might be. But how about this? Aura found 27 data brokers who had my information and has currently removed my information from 25 of those 27 while they work on the other 2. Data brokers profit by selling your information to robocallers, telemarketers, spammers, and anyone else that wants to learn more information about you. But Aura, our sponsor, will identify those brokers who are exposing your information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Their service also has a VPN, a password manager, real-time credit and identity theft monitoring, internet parental controls, and can protect your devices from malware while opting you out of junk mail and telemarketing lists. Let Aura do the hard work, keeping you safe online. And if you sign up for Aura with our code, you can get a 2-week free trial. Our link is aura.com/ATOZ. That is a 2-week free trial with our link, aura.com/ATOZ.
All right, Sam, also BetMGM. You can win big with Major League Baseball one-game parlay insurance. It's really easy. You open and log into your BetMGM app, and then you opt into the Major League Baseball one-game parlay insurance. And a one-game parlay of 4 legs or more, up to $25 back if it misses by just one leg all summer long. So we asked the question this morning, what is your confidence level in Tajae Spears having an impact on the Titans offense in his rookie season? Sam, I'll send you off to the chat to hear what everybody says about Tajae Spears and his impact on a 1 through 10 basis confidence level on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Titans Kyle's at a 7. Mark is at a 5. John is at a 6. Clayton says 3. Titans Kyle 7. Jared says 8.5. Jeremy says 7. Tank Sinatra 6.5. Rooney's a 6. Grim Jim's a 6. Johnny's a 7. Colby's a 7. Deborah's a 7. Trevor's a 7. Nate is at 6. Jonathan's at a 7. Tighten Up says 4. We've got a 10 from Matt, a 9 from Yannick, a 6 from Cameron Strong, a 5 from Ramon, 3 from Brent, 4 from Jonathan, 3 from David, 8 from Dadson, 10 from Dre, Scott says 3, 6 if he stays healthy. Well, health is a part of your prediction here, Nathaniel. Health is a part of your confidence.
Yeah.
Ashley says 7. We've got Denise saying 8. 7 says Tony. 6 says Apollo. 7 from Daniel. 9 for a few games. 0 for the games he's injured. So let's say a 5, says
Okay.
MB, who's trying to balance health and impact. Omar says 9. And Eric says 7. So, Austin, I go to you. What is your confidence level in Tajae Spears to be impactful as a rookie for the Titans offense?
Yeah, real quick. What was the lowest number you saw?
I think 3 was the low, or 2. Kane said 2. That's got to be the low so far. Oh, there is a 0 from
Okay.
Willie here. There's some low ones in there, but overall pretty high.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot higher than I thought. I mean, this is tough because there's a lot that goes into this, right? You know, there's the position he's at, there's Derrick Henry that's in front of him, and there's the offense that the Titans play in that we don't really know. And look, Tajae Spears, I'm at a 6.2. Yeah, it's not like a number that I usually go with. A 6.2 is where I'm at because I thought 6.5 was too high, and I thought 6 was too close to the fence. I think he'll have a positive impact on the Titans offense because look, last year when Dontrell Hilliard was healthy, he was a big part of it, right? Like they ran the wheel routes out of the backfield, some of the third down plays, the screens, the ability for him to run in between the tackles to catch some defenses off guard at times. I just think the snaps are going to be very limited because of what Derrick Henry is. The last year of his contract set to be paid a lot of money on his base salary this year. So you want to make sure you milk it and get the most out of it. So I think it's a 6.2 because Tajae Spears has shown that he carried the football 229 times last season for Tulane. So that's a good volume from a college running back. He also caught 22 passes, which isn't a ton, but when the leading receiver on the team has 35 catches and the next guy has 33 catches, 22 is not that far behind. So he was a part of the passing offense to a decent level for the Tulane Green Wave last season. And, it scored 21 total touchdowns. And so 6.2, just because I don't think the knee issue is the problem for this season. I think it's how does he handle a 17-game NFL season and what does that lead him in? If the Titans make the playoffs, does Tajae Spears have the ability to manage that injury in January? And does he have the ability to manage the injury after his rookie year? So I'm at 6.2 for this season.
Grim Jim says they picked him to replace Hilliard. I don't necessarily disagree with that at all. I think that the role for Tajae Spears in the Titans offense this year, at best, looks like what it did with Dontrell Hilliard at the beginning of last season when he was healthy. But that's at best. And that's why I'm at a 4.5. I really can't get over the threshold of 5 because I do think the snaps are going to be limited behind Derrick Henry. And while I don't think health is an issue for this season, I do have question marks about Tajae's ability in the passing game as both a pass protector and a pass catcher and a route runner. He's very, very inexperienced in it. He did not do a lot of it in passing sets at Tulane. That's something that he would tell you firsthand that he's still working through. And I saw some pretty crisp route running at rookie minicamp. I also saw he dropped quite a few balls at rookie minicamp. So there's a lot of progress that I think Tajae needs to make before he's ready to step into that Dontrell Hilliard role. And maybe in training camp, we're halfway through training camp, and I can sit here and say, okay, yep, he's ready to go. He's going to be getting 25 to 30% of your offensive snaps. But I think that's the high end if he can get out there for third down. And here's Tajae talking about something he needs to work on in the passing game and how the Titans are expecting versatility out of him.
Watching your highlights, it seems like your ability to glide and then bounce is what kind of makes you unique. You feel like that's kind of an accurate way to put it?
Nah, cause it's just like whatever I see and whatever I feel at the time.
How comfortable do you feel in the passing game at this point, both blocking and running routes, catching passes?
This program is big on versatility. So like at Tulane, I ain't get that much, but like I'm getting comfortable with it, taking one day at a time.
What do you kind of have to work on to get comfortable there?
Everything. We ain't trying to be average. We ain't trying to be good. We trying to be great.
So
Good to great.
Yeah, but he told you though, like he's still getting comfortable with, you know, the passing game and with what he can do as a blocker and a pass catcher and a route runner. And, you know, I think his skill set is certainly one that should translate really well into being a very good, very versatile third down back. Until I see some consistent stuff here, and this is one of his better reps that I'll play as I talk about this, as he's working as a pass catcher at rookie minicamp. But until I see this with like consistency, I see his hands being a bit more consistent because, like I said, he dropped a few balls. I think I'm going to have some questions about how much of an impact he can have as a third down back for the Titans this year. So the potential is there. You heard Tajae talk about it. He can glide. He's instinctual. He can explode, and he looked fast on Saturday.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all about how good you can be as a pass blocker. You have to be good in pass protection to be on the field on third down, and you have to be able to catch the football. If you can't do those things, his role in the Titans offense is non-existent next year. It's really just a change of pace back from Derrick Henry, which cuts his carries in half again.
And I'm going to take that a step farther because if Tajae Spears is going to have a big impact in this offense, there are two things that he has to do very well. I'll get to those here in a second, more of your comments. But first, Farm Bureau Health Plans, they can make you better with your health coverage. So if you right now are scratching your head, not wondering or not knowing what you're paying every month for your health coverage, not knowing if it's actually a good rate, if it's actually a good plan for you, Farm Bureau Health Plans can help you out with that. They will look over your current coverage, find out how they can help you, how they can save you money, how they can get you better coverage for that better rate because they have customer service. I love about Krebs Kubota having great customer service. Farm Bureau Health Plans does too because they've been serving Tennesseans for over 75 years across the entire state. So use Farm Bureau Health Plans however you need, whether it's filling in gaps with dental and vision, maybe from your coverage you get from your current employer, or if it's just you're out there on your own, you have to have full health coverage for whatever situation you're in. Farm Bureau Health Plans can work with you that way. So check them out. Super, super easy. FBHP.com/ATOZ.
Today's show is powered by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. With the bonus code ATOZ Sports, you can get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. That's the best way to get involved with sports gambling, is when the risk is limited and you can get your money back in the form of bonus bets. So ATOZ Sports, that's the bonus code, up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win on the king of sportsbooks, BetMGM, and BetMGM.com.
So if Tajae Spears wants to get on the field and earn opportunities and earn the football in his hands with this Titans offense, he's got to do two things, and he has to do them because Derrick Henry is not naturally good at it. It's pass blocking and catching the football. Like, sure, has Derrick Henry improved in both areas? Yes. I think he's improved more at being a more reliable pass catcher than he has a pass protector.
But he's limited in what he is as a pass catcher. Like,
yes,
he can catch the ball as a screen right on his chest and turn upfield and run with it. He's not going to catch the ball with his hands running a route. Derrick
Henry is very unnatural at catching the football. I'm not saying he's hand fighting it. I'm not saying he's got his, feet as hands or anything, but it's just not where he's the most comfortable of tracking and catching a football that's not, easily a turnaround, stand there, catch it, tuck it, and go. Like, Tajae Spears has to be able to come out of a break and the football be right there and boom, react and snag it. And so he doesn't pass protect that well either, as big as he is. And so I really feel like, that's where Tajae Spears' opportunity is. And if you're already seeing him drop passes in practice, or if he hasn't had the experience of running routes in college, that's okay. But those are the two areas that he's going to have to grow up quickly to earn opportunity. Because Dontrell Hilliard
was great at it.
Yeah,
great at both. And that's really all he was good at, but he was great at both of them. And you saw how impactful that was at times with two backs on the field, or just relying on Hilliard on third and fourth down. to kind of make a play or pick up a block or whatever it was. And the Titans are going to miss him. I think that's kind of something that's understated from last season, how they might have missed Dontrell Hilliard down the stretch after his injury and how that could have affected their offense.
Yeah. So super chats coming in here. Let's see. Nathaniel says about Spears, he's electric and will bring some excitement, but can't buy in as a fan because if he's ever injured, I'll be pissed as a fan. Simple as that. And I think that's the problem is that the Titans have tried this with the Derrick Henry backup now a few times, right? They went with Darrington Evans in the 2020 draft. That just never came to fruition because of his own injuries. And I think Tajae Spears wearing that number 32, coming from a smaller school, being a dynamic, shorter, smaller stature running back makes you feel like Darrington Evans, situation there too. They tried with Hassan Haskins, who is closer to a Derrick Henry style than Spears or Evans. So yeah, I'm with you. And I feel you that on Nathaniel. Kane says, let's be honest, the amount of blocks that he will be asked to do in the system will probably shorten his season.
Could be. Could be. That is a fear, I suppose. You are taking a lot more contact I don't know if I'd say it is surely going to shorten your season because you see a lot of running backs that take on blocks that have fine seasons. But
right.
Again, the health is going to be a continued concern. Nathaniel did want to ask, why not re-sign Hilliard? Probably just the health, right? I don't even know what the long-term effects of that were, but he has a point, and the Titans didn't win a game without Dontrell Hilliard last year. So when he was not on the field, the Titans were basically a guaranteed loss because they were missing such a big part of their offense. And hopefully that's what Tajae Spears is, and potentially that's why Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel prioritized getting that third down back in the third round because they saw how big of an impact it had on last year's team.
Dontrell Hilliard is still a free agent, or did he sign somewhere?
I think he's a free agent. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent.
Yeah, I don't see that he is signed anywhere as of this point.
I think he is a free agent situation. So I don't know.
And a money thing, right? Because Dontrell Hilliard's a veteran, so he's gonna be more expensive on a 1-year deal than Tajae Spears is.
Yeah. Andre says the Levis move put them in a position to have to draft Spears. Cornerback and edge depth in the kicking situation over a 2 to 3 year running back made more sense. They have to hit. Well, taking a kicker over a running back did not make more sense in the third round. You could have taken a kicker maybe in the 7th round and excused it. But Trey Wolf has a lot of potential for them as well as one of the bigger legs in the draft class that they got. Cornerback and edge depth, I think, were potential needs, but I do think, Andre, you are ignoring the fact that they didn't draft a wide receiver, and that is the need, I think, to me and to you and to Titans fans everywhere that you look at and say, what's up with that? Why a running back over a wide receiver? So that will continue to be the conversation as that goes on.
I still wonder, and even with the board falling how it did, a wide receiver or tight end at the 81 pick probably would have had a bigger impact. Your confidence number will be higher.
I've got Jake Moody and went in the 3rd. Jake Moody will score a lot of points. Jake Moody's good. I like Jake Moody. If you thought taking a kicker in the 3rd round was wise for the Titans, given the number of holes and needs they had, I don't really know what to tell you. I like Jake Moody. I liked Jake Moody as a Titans draft prospect in round 6. Not in round 3. And, Devin says, can we talk about our new kicker? I'm sure we will talk about the new kicker as we see more things from him in camp. I like him a good bit. I think he has a strong leg. He looked okay in rookie minicamp. Nothing really hugely notable because you're not really going at full speed. But we'll keep an eye on Trey Wolf as a potential sleeper. The competition between him and Caleb Shudak should be fun to watch.
All right, A to Z Sports here live on this Tuesday. We've got a couple more things to get to, including Tuesday Sports Trivia, but we've got number fits. Sam had an interesting topic this morning in our pre-show conversation. Which Titans rookie jersey number fits the player the best? I'm curious about this. Which Titans rookie jersey number fits the player the best? So we're going to get to these opinions. But Sam, first, you can tell everybody about Wilson County Hyundai.
Wilson County Hyundai needs to be a part of your new car buying experience at wilsoncountyhyundai.com or out there in Lebanon. Wilson County Hyundai is the place to go for your new ride. You can get 0% APR for 48 months on 2023 Sonatas, Santa Fe's, and Tucson's. Payne Bone and his team at Wilson County Hyundai are happy to guide you through the financing process, assisting in buying or trading in your vehicle. That's why Wilson County Hyundai is the place to be, and you can forget about those downtown Nashville prices because they're out there in Lebanon. Go see our friends. Make them a part of your car buying process at wilsoncountyhyundai.com.
With BetMGM, you need to sign up, and when you do it, use our code ATOZ Sports. That's ATOZ Sports, and that means your first bet, go big with it, because if you miss it, no worries, because you get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If that first bet misses, that's only if you sign up with BetMGM with our bonus code ATOZ Sports. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 or older. Tennessee only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification or requirements. First online real money wager. Only rewards issued knowledgeable bonus bets. Bonus bets expire 7 days. And for problem game of sport, call Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789. All right, Sam. Which Titans rookie jersey number fits the player the best? You got 14 with Colton Dowell, 8 with Levis, 32 right there, Tajae Spears, Skoronski 77, Josh Wiley is 81, kind of blocking that there, but Jalen Duncan, the 6th rounder out of Maryland, 79. So I'll let you go to the chat, Sam. Which rookie jersey number fits these guys the best? The player, that is.
Chris says it's 8 on Will Levis. Major Key says it's 8 on Will Levis. We have 79 on Duncan from Guy. Skoronski with 77. Double sevens from Matt. 77 from Kendall. 77 from Omar. 77 from MB and Steven and Dorian and Steven. And 81 on Josh Wiley for Eric Davis. Andre, Kendall, Willie, all have 77. Pistol Ramsey gives a 3, 81, 8, and 77. Roy, Al, Jose are all on the Peter Skoronski train as well. Michael says 79. Billy Jones says 77. DeMarco says 77. Major Key says 8 because Levis is the 8th try at quarterback. A pretty clever one there.
Is he the 8th? I mean, who's the first
in
try?
what era? Yeah, in what?
Right?
Yeah, since
I'm
when?
sure you could at some point count, and Will Levis can be number 8 wherever you want to fit your narrative there.
Yeah. Denise says 77, 81, and 8 as well. Ashley says 77. Kane says 81. Top Troop says 81. Austin, you look at these guys, which number just speaks to you? Because this is a feel thing. There's no reason, like rhyme or reason to any of it. You just look at it and you say, yeah, that makes sense in my brain.
I think it's Josh Wiley with 81. Like I think he fits in 81. The big, tall, long tight end. 81 is a long number. And I think Josh Wiley 81 as that tight end looks pretty good. It's appropriate because he's not a big thick dude at tight end either. He's got that link to him. So I think 81 with Wiley is where I think is the best fit for those 6 guys.
So the chat had 77 and 8 a lot. It will take me a minute to get used to a 77 that is not Taylor Lewan. That's going to take an adjustment. I think it's a great number for Peter Skoronski. I think he looks really good in it. That it fits him well, but it's going to be weird that that's not Taylor Lewan. Will Levis says he's number 8. He said he picked it just because it's cool and for no other reason other than that, but did say 2 quarterbacks. I believe it was Troy Aikman and he gave some reason for why he was number 8. I don't remember which. Like he cited some guys that whatever.
Oh, famous 8s. Troy Aikman. Then there's Steve Young. I don't know if that was one.
Yeah, I think those were the 2. He said he had a coach that talked to him about Steve Young and Troy Aikman were like 2 guys that he was like, oh, they were both pretty cool and they both wore number 8. So I thought I would wear it. But his main reason was I just thought it was cool. They gave me a list of numbers and I just thought it looked the coolest.
So Nate Turner says he did say Steve Young. And look,
okay,
here's a peek into my childhood. I'm left-handed. When I was growing up in the 90s and when there was no pro football team in Nashville, I looked at that number 8 left-handed dude out there in San Francisco running around making plays, and I'm like, that guy's cool. Like I like the number 8. I just don't think it fits with Will Levis right now.
I think it does, but it's another one that's like that until Will Levis kind of like becomes a stud and really claims that as his thing. 8 is the Mariota number. You can't escape it. 8 is the Mariota number until you make people forget about it. So let me tell you who it is for me.
Yeah.
It's Colton Dowell in 14, because I think him being one off of Nick Westbrook-Akine and then being 14 and 15 together as a 7th rounder and an undrafted free agent that have pretty similar, like they both look the part physically. Like Colton Dowell, I was surprised at how big and kind of like built he was, but that just makes a lot of sense to me. I just can see it now. Traylon Burks goes down with an injury, and we're looking at 14, 15 lining up as your 2 wide receivers in the Titans offense. It's very, very fitting. I still view 81 as like an Austin Hooper number. I think 32 is.
But isn't Josh Wiley just younger Austin Hooper?
Yeah, no, I agree. It makes sense. I'm just like, I don't picture anybody other than Colton Dowell when I see the number 14. 32 for a running back is weird.
Honestly, honestly, 5 of the 6 numbers I like. I don't like 32.
I don't either. I do like 5 of them. So it is a hard question. And I think as soon as you see Peter Skoronski doing what he was doing in rookie minicamp, knocking dudes over with 77 on him and looking like a bowling ball up on that line, you're going to be like, oh, all right. Yeah. 77 is Peter Skoronski now. That looks sweet. And if Will Levis turns out to be the next guy for the Titans, number 8 is going to be all over Nashville once again with
the
Levis
next
jerseys,
great
so.
8, right? The next great 8. 32.
Who knows? I do want to take a minute here. I felt bad. Traylon Burks is not going to get hurt this year. He's going to have an excellent year. Let's keep those positive vibes. I apologize to Titans Kyle. You are correct. I'll knock on wood for that one right there. But you can't tell me Colton Dowell and NWI being one number off of each other isn't hilariously fitting.
I do like that a lot. That is something I didn't think about that. All right, A to Z Sports here live on this Tuesday. Real quick, Jared asks, is 8 the new 10 awesome? No. Kearis Jackson not being out there for rookie minicamp, but being seen in the number 10 just tells you everything you need to know about that, is that 10 is cursed. And so there you go. All right, A to Z Sports here live on this Tuesday. It is time, Sam, for Tuesday's sports trivia. I've got questions. They're all over the board, and they're categorized as tough. So we'll get to that. But first, the Bone and Joint Institute. We played the clip earlier from Dr. Colin Looney talking about Tajae Spears and what it's like to go through and be an athlete without an ACL, the arthritis that goes into it. Bone and Joint Institute, they have the experts there in Franklin, and they can help you out with whatever injury that is that pops up in life. Maybe arthritis is part of your future. Because if you tear your ACL, arthritis is going to come at some point later on in life, but you have to know where you should go to and who can help you get through that and maintain and prevent and do those type of preventative measures for your body as you get deeper and deeper into life. So check them out in Franklin or online, boneandjointtn.org.
Today's show is powered by BetMGM, the king of sports books. Use that bonus code on the bottom of your screen, ATOZ Sports, on the BetMGM app, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. That's the best way to get involved in the sports gambling space. Make every play and every game mean that much more with the king of sports books. It's ATOZ Sports, the bonus code. Place that first wager, and you can get your money back up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win on BetMGM.com and the BetMGM app. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Tennessee only new customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. First online real money wager only. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, but bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. For problem gambling support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. Oh, I can't hear you. You're breaking up. You there? What just happened? I don't know what just happened.
So I don't know. I got a phone call, and then my computer had the phone call come into here. Is everything okay? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
we're
happened.
good. Everything started playing twice. I started to lose you for a minute. You had me
Yeah,
panicking. I thought I was
my
going to have to ask
computer-
myself questions.
My computer had a couple hiccups. I don't know what happened, but anyway, we're good now, right? We're all set.
Yeah, no, it had me worried, but we're good. My heart's calmed down. Let's do this. I'm ready to go. Hopefully some better questions this week, and I can I feel like I flop on sports trivia more often than not. I'm so much better at this than I feel like I show. So I just need stuff that's not in like the 70s, which is usually what you and Zach like to ask. So
Yeah, but that's just where the internet allows us to go. So look, this is I tried to go find some sports trivia questions that were not going to be in our wheelhouse, but going to be fun and trying to answer that. So
okay.
here we go. This is 5 questions. This is rated as a tough difficulty, but we're going to have 5 questions here. We are currently 15 out of 20, so we need everybody's help on this here to make sure we can get through it. So, seated in your comfy armchair, you checked the listings and decided on iconic sporting moments. You heard a shout of, quote, "You cannot be serious." What sport were you watching? An iconic sports moments. You cannot be serious. What sport were you watching? Tennis, golf, cricket, or bowling? Iconic sport moment. Again, no Googling. You cannot be serious is the quote. I think it's John McEnroe in tennis, right? Like that's where I went to first.
I was between 2. I don't feel like this would be a golf thing. My gut instinct. So I did think it could be a Tiger tennis moment.
Or,
My gut was
golf.
Is
So
this
tennis,
Federer?
golf, cricket, bowling.
Yeah, is this Federer between the legs? You cannot be serious. I think this might be the Federer wins a point with his back turned between the legs. Or you think it's McEnroe?
I think it's McEnroe screaming at the official, "You cannot be serious."
Oh, I thought we were talking like a broadcaster said this.
Either way, that's where I hear. So Jake says, "I swear it's bowling." And then Roy saying it's McEnroe tennis. And Connor says it's McEnroe. So let's go with tennis, right?
Yeah, let's go tennis. You had that off the jump. No,
Okay.
It's not who do you think you are? I am, even though that is one of my favorite things of all time. So yeah, tennis final A to Z. Lock it in.
Okay. So this is the category is basically you're watching sports on TV, by the way. So you dozed off in front of the TV and you woke up to a discussion on deck work and cadence action. What sports was on your screen? So it's deck work and cadence action. What sport were you watching? Synchronized swimming, rowing, sailing, gymnastics. So synchronized swimming, rowing, sailing, or gymnastics, discussing deck work and cadence action. So I think I'm going to eliminate gymnastics. I know that's not it. Rowing does sound right. Deck work makes synchronized swimming.
Rowing, what else?
Sailing.
I don't think it's rowing. I don't think it's rowing.
I think it is rowing.
What cadence would you be doing in rowing?
Rowing's all about cadence. And deck work is what? I think it's cadence. I think rowing is cadence. Sailing, I don't think you have as much cadence. But deck work makes more sense
for sailing. What would deck work be in rowing though?
That's what I don't know. So do we want to go with sailing?
Chat seems to be pretty split. I don't know. You were right. Your gut was right last time, I feel like. So let's go with rowing. So
rowing?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about rowing. So
all right,
rowing,
we're gonna go with rowing. All right. All right. So you're reading about a bully. This was not a player committing a foul, but a means of deciding advantage in a game of what? So bully is a means of deciding an advantage in a game of what? That would be field hockey, rugby, wrestling, or polo. So
I
what
think
is
this is
I have
I-
no clue.
I think this is rugby.
Bully?
I'm pretty sure a bully is a rugby term.
I think see I've never heard rugby and bully. I think it's more likely to be field hockey.
I mean, I don't know field hockey. I've never watched a second of field hockey in my life, so I have no idea if it's that. Chat is weird because chat's either split saying rugby or it's not rugby.
I don't think it's rugby. I had rugby was a big deal in my high school. My college freshman roommate was a rugby player. I know other rugby players. I don't think it's rugby. I think we go field hockey.
Jimbo's unhappy with your questions again.
That's fine.
I'm
I
with
thought this was
Jimbo.
better. I thought this was
I don't have any chance of getting this though. I have no idea what this stuff
field
is.
hockey. Let's go field hockey.
All right, field hockey, final A to Z, sure.
All right. The sport seen first globally in the 1968 Olympics had the Fosbury flop. What was this sport? First seen globally in the 1968 Olympics, the Fosbury flop. What was this sport? High jump, wrestling, diving, or a long jump? So I think long jump. I think long jump is a older sport. I think diving's got to be an older sport.
I think it's the high jump.
That sounds right to me.
You flop in the high jump. I mean, that's like
because you have to
you kind of
I think high jump. We'll go high jump.
Yeah, that seems to be what chat thinks too. High jump, lock it in.
All right, high jump, lock it in. So we have one more question. One more question here.
Is it sports or no?
No, yeah, this is sports. All right. Where did my last question go? Hold on. All right. Dang it, where'd he go? Okay. Why am I not finding this last question? Oh, I can't find a fifth one. This is not good. Oh, here we go. You had a lottery ticket. It reminded you of Lottie Dodd, Wimbledon champion and all-around athlete. Lottie Dodd won a silver medal in the 1908 Olympics in which event? Archery, tennis, field hockey, or sailing? I'm going to say Lottie Dodd. This is a bad question. Let me find a different question.
Did it not say Wimbledon winner?
Yeah, but all around sport. Let me just, okay. Here's new question. Screw that. Screw Lottie Dodd. In the sport of curling, the end of the ice surface has a series of 3 circles. What is the term for these 3 circles? The house, the marker, the bullseye, or the hog line? The 3 circles in curling are what? The house, the marker, the bullseye, or the hog line?
I kind of like the house. The house kind of sounds sweet. That feels like it would be.
I think it's house.
It just sounds the coolest to me. So I'm
house?
good with that. Yeah,
All
house. Right. Lock it in.
Okay, so we are submitting our answers here. I apologize for the lack of not having that last question. All right, so to the top. Who shouted, "You cannot be serious"? That would be, we were correct, John McEnroe. We were watching tennis in 1981 in Wimbledon. When the ball was called out, he screamed that at the umpire. So we are 1-0. You dozed off in front of the TV. You awoke to discussion on deck work and cadence action. What sport were you watching? We guessed rowing. We were completely wrong because it wasn't even sailing. It was synchronized swimming. So synchronized swimming Cadence
I'm
makes
not gonna
sense.
say. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
Deck work. That must be.
I shouldn't have let. I shouldn't have let the chat bully me. I was gonna bring it up because I don't know, I shouldn't have. Whatever.
All
Hey,
right.
take it off.
Question
I had
3.
a gut feeling, but I was trusting everybody that I didn't know what I was talking about because it
Question
is
3 about
Sports Center.
bully was by means of deciding an advantage in a game of what? We guessed field hockey. Rugby was a popular answer, but we were correct with field hockey. That is where bully comes into play. All right. So, what was the new technique seen first globally in the 1968 Olympics? The Fosbury flop. In what sport? We guessed high jump, and we were correct. High jump is the correct answer. So that is 3 out of 1. Dick Fosbury perfected the style of high jump when in 1968. Before that, it was the straddle. So that's a really inefficient way of high jumping. And then our last question is in the sport of curling, at the end of the ice, the 3 circles are called what? We guessed the house, and we were correct. So all of that, 4 out of 5. The only thing we missed was synchronized swimming.
Listen, next week I'm gonna do the questions. The key to I'm gonna give you a little
That's
tip
fine.
here.
I
Everybody,
suck at being a trivia master, and I know
the
that.
tip to a good trivia question. It's why I have my catalog of all my questions that really get the brain going. It has to. I think a good trivia question triggers a memory that you forgot that you had. It's a name that you're like, I can see the face, but don't remember the name. Or you're sorting through information that of people that you're familiar with and trying to do deductive reasoning. It's information that you know that isn't at the top of mind, and finding a way to manipulate that information into a question format and into fun facts. That's a good trivia question. Some other stuff, it's just like it's a shot in the dark. You're just kind of like, oh, well.
I went with a different, and look, tomatoes coming from Orlando. Jose says this was very good, Austin. Don't be too harsh on yourself. And Nick says it wasn't bad. I just didn't know many. I tried to go different. We've gone draft. We've gone like wheelhouse. I tried to think outside and just come up with different.
If chat wants to recommend a category, I will take the category into consideration, and I will come back next week with some well-written. They won't be multiple choice either. You're gonna have to, really pull a deep cut. We're gonna find a category.
If you're gonna spend time on that, that's fine.
It's not. Hey, I've got them ready to go. Basically, it's just
sounds
about,
great.
Yeah.
All right.
Not a
So
problem.
next Tuesday, Sam is trivia master. But hey, 4 out of 1. We'll take that. So
we'll put out a poll on Twitter or a tweet just asking a question, and we will see what category everybody wants for Tuesday sports trivia, and then I will write the questions accordingly because we've got a bunch of them. So no, Chris said trivia can't always be easy. I agree, Chris. Sometimes it's got to be hard. I just think it has to be things that you like have a shot to know or like can remember if you think hard enough. I want an
this week
moment.
we were able to talk through stuff, and that's what I think was fun.
True, and that is part of it too. But I mean, like if you would have you tell me that it's if you would have told me it was rugby instead of field hockey or whatever, I would have just been like, oh well, hey, I had no idea. I need like a little bit of an aha moment. I need that like, oh, that's right, I forgot about him. Like, so that's what I crave as a trivia master. I'm coming next week. You can bank on it.
Sam, trivia master Sam next week. But thanks guys for watching. Make sure you like the show before you go. There's always more people watching than have liked the show. So hopefully you can hit that thumbs up button for us before we head out of here. Sam is getting to St. Thomas Sports Park as Titans vets speak to the media today, and we'll react to it tomorrow on A to Z Sports Buck Rising live tonight, A to Z Sports Primetime. We'll see you guys on a Wednesday. Appreciate it as always.